Hello, my peeps. Today's Algebra Nation video will cover all of the problems on page 29. Prime number, plus 10 for me.
Let's take a look at a practice problem. When Michael Phelps swims, he makes waves in the water that look like the following graph. What they want to find out is the path of the wave a function? And what method did you use to come to your conclusion? So before we can figure out if it's a function or not, we need to determine what method. So, given the information provided, when you're given information about a relation, you can find whether it's a function or not, depending on the information they provide. Since here, they demonstrate a graph, a line, we can use a vertical line test. Let me write that down. So the method would be a vertical line test. Vertical line test. And when they give you a graph like this, that's typically the easiest way to determine if a relation is a function or not. And now, just so you understand what a vertical line test is, if you can draw a vertical line that crosses the graph in more than one place, then the relationship is not a function. And I drew an example down at the bottom that we'll go over right now. So if you can draw a vertical line and it touches the graph in more than one place, it is not a function. So let's draw a vertical line. Does it touch the graph in more than one place? Yes. And you can draw a mini vertical line you'll see. So this is not a function. Now let's implement the vertical line test on our original graph. So let's draw vertical lines in this graph, and let's determine if it touches the graph in more than one place. Does that touch the graph in more than one place? No, just here. Does that touch the graph in more than one place? Nope, just there. Let me just draw a few more just to show you. So every line that I drew, it only touched the graph in one place. So therefore, does our function pass the vertical line test? Yes. Or I'm sorry, does our graph pass the vertical line test? Yes. So therefore, it is a function. I hope that was helpful. Until next time.
Problem number 5.
Now let's get some more practice with a vertical line. So Kanye West and Kim Kardashian usually go running every morning, and they use a GPS to track their route. Shown below is a graph of their route. Does their route represent a function? Why or why not? So they run in a circle. Okay, so what test do we use? Remember, if we have a graph and we want to determine if it's a function or not, we can use the vertical line test. So, do you remember what a vertical line test is? What a vertical line test means, if we draw a vertical line, if it touches more than one point on the graph, it is not a function. So let's draw a few vertical lines and see if it touches more than one point on the graph. Does that vertical line touch more than one point on the graph? Yes, it touches 2 points. So right away, we don't even need to do another vertical line. We know that it does not pass the vertical line test. So does this route represent a function? No. Why or why not? Because it does not pass the vertical line test. Does that make sense? You can even draw other vertical lines and see that a circle will never pass the vertical line test. So does this route represent a function? No. Why or why not? Because it does not pass the vertical line test, so it is not a function. I hope that was helpful. See you next time.
Time for a brain break. Just wondering if Mrs. Cole is going to be playing this loud and proud all week long. problem number 6.
Now let's look at more practice problems and determine if these present functions.
Minus 10 for Mr. Phillips. That's all right. You know I'll get it back.
Following does a relation represent a function? So remember earlier in previous practice problems we came up with an easy way to determine if ordered pairs represent a function or not. Are there duplicate x's? If there's duplicate x's, it does not represent a function. If there are no duplicate x's, it represents a function. So first let's look through and underline all of the x coordinates. Now, is any of those a duplicate? No, we have no duplicate. So yes, it is a function. Now, let's go ahead and let's look at b. Let's underline those x coordinates. We have 5, we have 6, sorry, we have 4, and then we have -2 and 6. Well, we heard correct, I said 6 twice. So are there any duplicates? Yes, there's a duplicate. There's 2 6s. So no, it is not a function. Now, next, we have 2 graphs. We have C and D, which are both graphs. For this, we would use the vertical line test, which we went over before. And remember, the idea is if you draw a vertical line and it touches the drawing, the line that you have here, the relation, if it touches the relation more than once in that same line, it does not pass the vertical line test. So, does it touch it more than once? No, it touches it right here. Right there. So you can draw as many lines as you want. You see, every vertical line was a little not so straight, but every vertical line only touches this speed-looking relation once. So yes, it does almost stick to our blue and red. So yes, it does pass the test, and yes, it is a function. Now E, let's see if E passes the test. Draw our vertical line. Uh-oh, it touches twice. There we go again. There again. So no, it is not a function because when we draw the vertical line, it passes through the graph to right. So no, it is not a function. Now, so lastly, for E, we have ordered pairs again. So let's go through and underline the x's. We have 5, then we have -3, -1, 9, and 5. We said 5 twice, so right away we know there's duplicate in the x coordinate. I'm sorry, there's duplicate x coordinate. So, does it pass the function test? No. So, for P, D, and E, our relations are not